Okay, we're going. We're live. This is the day. So today we are the timber wolf. We are the grizzly bear. Lots of power in the air. Oh, I forgot to bring my collar with me today. That's what I forgot. Well, let's just turn this on. I usually have a collar with me. It's always the most critical thing, but it is important. Yeah, I didn't sleep for a while. So far the day I think is going okay. Let's see if we can get one of these joints started up. Nice. Don't need a lot, I find. I'm already pretty amped up. I can't believe that there's this line in Cocktail I was thinking about. Um, Something along the lines of course it ends badly, otherwise it wouldn't end. And the relationship in this movie, I don't recommend movies, I don't help it. There it is. Um, and he's having a relationship with kind of a completely sort of narcissistic woman. And, you know, most people in movies are narcissists, right? Um, Remember now, actors are aliases, they're always aliases, you never really know what they are. Whatever they're doing, they're pretending, right? And, uh, and I thought to myself, does everything, and I thought about death, like, you know, when people get sick, you get so sick, you're like, I've been so sick, I'm like, maybe if I just died, that would be the best thing. Like, when you leave your body, if you're so sick that you have an out-of-body experience, not you should want to die, and I don't want anyone to die, but when you leave your body, it's pretty peaceful. I know that's a little creepy to think about, because, you know, you want to do that, and it's like, I think the trouble is that is more acculturated than, you know, like, oh, you have to be afraid of death in that sense. Because, like, if we take death to be a peaceful result to any sickness or injury or accident, that people who die are peaceful because you couldn't be anything else. Whatever happens, you know, I mean, people think of ghosts and residual emotional pain and violent death. Um, well, just think about, like, your emotional body. As long as you're on the earth and you have emotions, they have an extremely powerful resonance. So we have sort of demons and spirits of our emotions that can hover around us. Um, for example, I was walking behind an older man coming up, right? And I was walking, and I'm thinking, how come I keep thinking that he's walking towards me? And I get this, all of a sudden, I get energy of this spirit walking towards me. I look up, no, he's back still towards me, he's still walking away. Within 45 seconds, he turns, and there's a path adjacent to the path where he lives. And he turns off, and basically now he's not walking right towards me, but he's walking in the opposite direction towards me. There's nothing menacing. When I saw him working towards me, it wasn't like, oh, he's a demon. It was, and I didn't think it was. I just thought, oh, like, something about his spirit is walking towards me. And if I was walking with normal people, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion, and you would think I was weird. But he actually turned around within 30, 40 seconds and started walking the other way. So obviously I had a premonition. And and to make it even easier and explicable, it's like, chances are he was thinking about walking the other way. He was probably mindful that I was walking behind him. He may not have wanted. We don't often want people walking behind us when we're going for a morning stroll. And maybe he was anxious to turn around or something. And maybe I picked up on that, like, oh, he wants to turn around. I started slowing down a little bit, whatever, but it was fine. I just picked up on his mind. His mind was planning to turn around. That's all. And but it let me know via probably his mind and my mind and the subconscious that this was something to expect. And so when it happened, I was like, oh, now he's turning around. Now he's turning away. So it's kind of interesting. Okay. My mother is so strong. The earth is so strong. My mother is so strong. My father is so strong. I've been in shock the last 2 days. Oh, from just all the human effluent, psychological effluent. Not to get too specific about it, because I just start going down that road. But abnormal human psychology, I guess, to put it quite blandly, and how humans will invariably, but also probably excessively, enter into conflicting and often very selfish dynamics. Why is it wrong to be selfish? Well, what that really saying is there's a conflict where, in a sense, you're thinking, in some sense, not everyone can get what they want. Why is a conflict selfish? Well, essentially, what happens when you want something for your own survival that jeopardizes someone else's survival? And how does that come about? Well, that psychology, that can be a lot of different things. Can just let's go. That's what happens when you sit them on rocks. I have owl medicine today, which is good. It's like solar medicine that gets right in deep and clears things out. That makes sense because I've been in shock for 2 days. You got to clear that shit out. I must have written about emails and messages to BC Transit over the last 8 hours overnight. So I'll be turning on their fucking work computers and seeing a lot of things from Rain Griffin and whatnot. Look at this guy. Right? And I don't respect them. But I'm respecting them enough to tell them exactly why I'm upset, exactly why I'm angry, and why somebody would be. Because at the very least, I'm mirroring what's been shared with me. Right? It has to stop. Society shouldn't just be an endless cup runneth over of the fucking anger I need to give to you, but give me. Like an anger economy. You're full up with anger, you gotta give it to someone. They give it to someone else. You don't need to have some theory of demonic metaphysical control. Humans are just feeding off of their own anger and sharing it with others. Anger is such a powerful force in the world. Oh, what's that? Force in the world. Anger is such a powerful force in the world in itself that it's part of everything that human beings are. My mom is so strong. She's so generous. She's such an amazing person. And my sister has a black boyfriend. And I just want to go off the end describing him, and I'm sorry to black people because I know that you're all such incredible human beings. And he says negative things about my mom. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get angry and use this opportunity to be racist or whatever. It's just, I don't have anything against black people. He just happens to be black. In fact, all 3 of my siblings are married brown and black people, which I guess is good. It's good for white people. I'm not sure if it's good for brown people, right? And I'm not saying that he's an out-and-out worst person ever lived. I'm not saying, you know enough about the story to know why he might be doing that. My sister has problems with my mom. I imagine she shares a lot of that with him, and he doesn't like what he hears. That's my sister's MO. She doesn't say anything positive about people, right? And from her point of view, she's probably working her damnedest just to be positive at all. My mom is an amazing, generous human being. She doesn't deserve such behavior. She doesn't deserve to hear negative things from this person, whatever color. It just happens to be black. And so I see him in my mind's eye, you black fucker. Damn you. If he was white, I'd say you white fucker. I just get tired of being mad at white people all the time. But I tried to look up his name online. I thought, fuck, man. Somebody should fucking punch you out the way you talk about my mom. But I'm going to take a crap up here at some point. Woo! What a beautiful day. when you get angry at people, in business, at the very least, a corporation, at some point, you got to tell them what you're angry about and what you want. And I've spelled that out for them exactly, tell them exactly what I want. Exactly. All things that any company should be able to give to a client who's been harassed. And just simple things. Not money, not nothing, but they're not going to do anything. And they've harassed my man with the police. They use the police to try to get people to go away. Because to begin with, they have a total misapprehension via the intoxicating effects of denial as to what people are doing, combined with which the perpetrators are bullshit artists. Right? What you do is you tell them the truth. You tell them exactly, hey, I still got the snake here. I mean, the snake, it's still here. It's so fucking cool. Look at that. A Paleolithic or a Neolithic snake. I'm not sure if there was a Neolithic, but it's just like, I believe in the snake. I think they took the Neolithic and placed all these separate things. It's like, if you're a feminist, look at a circle. If you're feminist and you want something really positive about women, we have to go back to the fucking Neolithic, like 30,000 years ago or something. It's fucking ridiculous. What I would read in feminism is feminism stemming, a lot of rooted around the Neolithic era or the patriarchal study of such. I don't believe in the word patriarchal, but you know what I mean. Words are misused. Patriarchal means actually father killing, but in any sense, whoever's being killed, everyone's being killed, and it's wrong. And killed in our minds, killed in our regard, killed. Imagine a perfect society and how it would hold their mothers and fathers, men and women, and all the other genders in the rainbow, which I don't really believe in, but I respect the fact that people do. I don't believe in, I understand that gender varies from person to person all the time. And humans should be able to adjust to that. And acculturation and financial and economic and religious logistics, parameters and imperatives should not trespass upon the most sacred of people's gender identity, as people call it. But the thing is that gender really isn't an identity. Once it becomes an identity, right, you're not talking about the core gender anymore, right? You can have a gender identity, but it's not really the fundamental gender, okay? Your gender is male or female. It has to do with what's in gender, okay? It has to do with reproduction. Now, if you don't like that, that's fine. You can have other gender identities. You feel that way, you are that way. I would never seek to disrespect it, okay? I don't know what my gender identity is. Maybe you could give me one, but I don't have a gender. But most people probably treat me like I'm a guy. So I look like a guy and I talk like a guy and I have a dick. And I don't trouble myself to correct them. So, look at that. A room is black. Somehow, as a side note, I started getting dressed in all black. I only seem to have black clothes now. When I go out, which is good in a way. It's grounding. Masculine. I don't know if black is masculine, but I kind of think it is when I'm wearing it. It's not pink. I've worn pink, actually salmon color things. I've worn purple pants. Some people call them pink. I like wearing colors, but you know what? When a man wears different colors, right, he gets all kinds of queer comments. Little pun there. In that sense, I mean straight, but yeah, if no matter what I wear in my life, I've been criticized for what I wear, starting when I was a child. As soon as I started wearing colors, I sort of wore what my mom and dad bought me. Colors, past the age of 1 or 6, 7, 8, when you're not terribly, maybe as much into fashion as people usually get. But getting into grade 7 and 10, 11, 12, if I wore a pair of shorts one day that were uncustomarily colorful. They were Bermuda shorts, red, yellow. And I started getting razzed by people. Eventually they were stolen from high school. Isn't that weird? Okay, I gotta crap now. Let's keep going. It's gonna be a good crap. I should go down here and crap. I should go down here and crap. See, it comes on strong. If you're angry and you tell a corporation what you want, then, at least they know what you're after. You're not after their heads, literally. But, that doesn't do me any good to take off somebody's head. But the vileness planted under my skin, really, why do you think that? You see, so you think nothing really happened and I shouldn't. Baby, why don't you just ask me questions? When you're talking to someone, just ask me. If you're feeling it, you shouldn't be so. Listen, I've been trying to play this. If you want to listen to me, ask me a question. Right? And you make your case. I don't think these people even read my emails, frankly. How would I know? They don't respond to them. Before March, I have to renew my BC identity card. So around my birthday, I'm going to get an identity card. Isn't that nice? I'm going to know my identity. Oh, and they said you're allowed to have a picture on it. Oh, wow. That's my real identity. You ever notice that your driver's license is not who you are? Everything about it is fraudulent, actually. You're not really allowed to base identity on your birth certificate because your birth certificate is not really any evidence that you're alive and that you're a real person. Do you understand? And yet all identification is based off of your birth certificate. Did you know that? A birth certificate doesn't have a picture of you, right? You know? It doesn't have a picture of you. So, that's fascinating. So we have this identity. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, my diaper daddy. I've not diaper daddies. Okay. So, I'm going to take a crap now. This is usually kind of the crap zone. It's so nice and quiet. I had such a maelstrom of a night, tossing and didn't sleep very well. I didn't try not to have too much caffeine. I just going, uh-oh, I'm not sleeping. So I think part of it is that I had a sort of a split shift yesterday. In that I had sort of a split shift yesterday. And let's go over here and see if I can take a crap in here or something. I had a split shift, and then I came out. My mom wanted me to come home, which I didn't mind, so she could have some time. So I'm going out for a couple hours. I'm getting cold. I'm doing my thing. I come home, and I'm sitting, and I think what it does is it buries the cold in my body. Go back out for another 3 or 4 hours. Come home, take a really hot bath, and I'm fine. But I noticed I was kind of sweating. My t-shirt got wet at night, and so that really tells me that I've had a chill. Yeah, you know what? Let's keep going. This doesn't seem like a good place to take shit. Every time I look up, I can see a house with windows, and trust me, when you're out in the wild, anywhere in rural areas, and you see a house with windows, somebody's looking at you. I was living in a rural island area. Unfortunately, I was renting. Nice place, but I had neighbors right near me, overlooking this sort of promontory upon which I looked. Small promontory, modest promontory, of stone and near the water. And they would indicate to me that they could see me and would look at me, sit in the kitchen and watch me. And, star type people are willing to do that. They'll let you know that they can see you and they look at you. It's really creepy, right? And, white people. I think it's all about the neighbors, eh? It's all about the privacy. So what I found was that there was one part of the house that I could sit near one corner, where it was like sort of the northwest corner or whatever it was, and I'd get a chair and I could sit there and I'd buy some frozen pizza and smoke cigarettes. And I was just like, oh, here I am paying this rent, not a lot, but still, living my life. It's all hard for all of us. And I'm living in my house. And this is the only place I can go outside where I can really be. And when I go onto the beach, Not always, but there's people, renting B&Bs, whatever, who are rude. It's just, this one guy was unhappy because I didn't say hello to him one day. I made eye contact and then I waved, and I had something on my mind, and I was on the beach, and it was first thing of the day, but that wasn't enough for him. I tell you, man, the fucking anger in human beings. Okay, so there's no one coming behind me. Let's see if anyone's coming this way. Yeah, so I want to know, but they're never going to tell me what happened, what can I do to prevent it from happening, and why did it happen, because it happened not once, what happened to me, but twice. You see multiple. No, this isn't any better idea than the other place there was. As far as taking the shit goes. Oh well. Keep going. I heard that sound one night from a woman who's been stalking me for years. Literally had been stalking me for over 10 years. I was stalking me for 10 years because I called child services just to do a welfare check, make sure things were good, because she needed to right her ship, put it that way. And 10 years she stalked me for. But eventually I got her to expose herself in a cataclysmic sort of configuration, a shambolic cataclysmic configuration, which any editor worth their salt would never let sit in a book, except they'd be like, that's cool. I like all those syllables. It means something bad happened. And I should read more. On the back of the book, a shambolic, cataclysmic conflagration that left me catatonic and comatose. It's like, okay. Comatose. My toes are in a coma. They're comatose. Tomatoes. Do you want some comatose tomatoes? Comatose. Now, I give you comatose tomatoes. Okay, so you see how that's brown? I did that by sliding down the snow the other day. Okay. Oh, okay, let me see that's the way I like it. Okay. There we go. Did that. Still gotta take a crap. Don't know what to do. I got crap in my ass. I got crap in. I'm feeling better. I've been in shock for the last 24 hours. All this anger coming out, all this mistreatment, and I'm just, it's like passing a hernia through your heart. Oh, hit it. Right, it's like, you gotta tell yourself, no matter what it is, and how shocking it is, it'll pass. And there's always new shocks to be added to the old ones, but sometimes you get enough shock, you can clear some shock out of your system. I think that's a very crude thing to say, but let's just hope that's the case. And then I'm giving Eastern Transit information to improve their business, to improve the delivery of services. Let's go down here. This might be better to take a shit. Better to go down than up, maybe. I don't usually take this trail. So. Birdies are nice. Birdies have been really cheerful and supportive the last few days. They're really with you, birds. a lot of cases. A little busy. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a crap into red air. There's all this lovely moss to wipe my hands with. Oh, lovely. Oh, nice. People coming. Great. How you doing? Never seen this in any other buses in the world. Stepped in my own shit. You know? Been having like a great mid-morning shit. Let's go. Wow, look at that. Well, let's go back up. This trail looks difficult. Switch. chicken. Oh, yeah. You know, you send all these messages. One day you get like an email saying, "Thank you for your comments. We will get back to you in." It's a bus system. You're coming into critical contact with 58 million people a year, and you have employees who are responding to conflicts by saying you have no reason to be afraid of such and such behavior when it's already happened to you twice. Right? Okay. I was taking a crap. I knew that some bobbing head might see me, but that's okay. But whew. Yesterday was intense. Yesterday there was a lot of predatory energy on me. It's an awful feeling. I don't know what the RCMP do in these areas, but I don't think they have enough to do. It's kind of like the transit drivers. Nobody in the public sector has enough to. They sit on their asses all day. I came to an office, a civic center, that had probably 4 different women of different ages, white women, working in a place that was basically defunct and had nothing to do. I came there 4 times to get them to put the right time on the fronting of the building, right? Just when they changed it and it was wrong, they changed it right before the time change. They changed it, okay? That's odd. Because, and then they came in weeks later and said, "Oh, we can't change it," but they had already changed it once. You can't change it. Oh, that's odd. Do you know why that's odd? Well, the first time I came in here, and they changed it, I didn't know it was the time. Let's see. And so the first person was able to change it, but then all of a sudden it was the wrong time. I don't think they had it right to begin with. And then I came and I went through 4 different women, all getting paid to do